Okay, in this part of our lesson, we're going to be working with subtracting linear equations. So very similar to what we've done in our previous parts of this lesson. It's just that now we're going to be having, instead of a plus sign, we're going to be having a minus sign in here. Okay, so really that also means the opposite. So if I wanted to think of it like this, I could think the opposite of negative x and positive 6. Which works kind of nice when it's just a minus sign, but unfortunately you're not always just going to have that minus sign in there. Sometimes you're going to have a number with it. So I want to go through and explain this little tip for you. To find the opposite, which I just discussed with you, you can also multiply that whole expression that's in that parenthesis by -1. Okay, so if I had gone through and said I want to do the opposite of negative x, well, that would be a positive x. The opposite of a negative or a positive 6 is a negative 6. Okay, so that's one method you could use. It works. Sometimes it gets confusing when they start putting a different number in there. So I'm going to go ahead and put a 1 in there. And we're going to go ahead and distribute just like we did previously. But I have to remember to take that negative with the 1. So -1 times -1 gives me a positive 1x. Okay, -1 times a positive 6 gives me a -6. Now I'm going to bring down this set of terms. So 5x plus 6. We're now back to what we've done in both of our previous sections. We're going to go ahead and use one of our methods, either vertical or horizontal. I prefer the horizontal method. So I'm going to reorganize using commutative property. So I have a positive 5x and a positive 1x, a positive 6 and a -6. Now I'll combine my like terms. 5 plus 1 gives me 6x. Positive 6 minus 6 gives me 0. So 6x plus 0 leaves me with just a 6x. Okay, you can always add 0 to any term because really it cancels out. There's really nothing there. You will never see, like on a standardized test, 6x plus 0. They will just leave it as 6x. Okay, so let's go ahead and try another one of those. Okay, so we have 7x minus 3, and then our little negative there. So this time I'll go ahead and discuss on this one that opposite, what I was trying to talk about at the very beginning. If I were to do the opposite of positive 2x, well, that would be a negative 2x. The opposite, because negative means opposite, of positive 6 would be a -6. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and bring down the rest, 7x minus 3. Okay, I would have gotten the same thing, and I'll show you if I would have distributed a -1. -1 times positive 2 gives me that -2. -1 times a positive 6 gives me that -6. Okay, so that opposite thing works great as long as it's no number with that opposite sign. Okay, so now I'm going to use commutative property, so 7x and a -2x, and then I have a -3 and a -6. Don't forget to take the symbol with the number. Okay, combine like terms. 7 minus 2 gives me 5x. I have a -3 and a -6, those are the same, so find the sum, 9. They were both negative. So we should get 5x minus 9. And that's all the further we can go. Okay, so now we're going to change it up just a little bit. We are now going to go through and distribute a number. So instead of just having that negative sign or that opposite sign in between, we're going to go ahead and distribute this, because the symbol goes with the number behind it, to my 4. So -3 times 4 would be -12. Make sure I put my y on it. -3 times, include the symbol, -10, would give me positive 30. I'm going to bring the rest of it down. I had a -5y out here and a positive 4. Okay, now I'm going to use commutative property to rearrange. So -5y and a -12y. Then I had a positive 4. And a positive 30. Combine our like terms. So -5 and a -12, those are same symbol. Find the sum, 17. Both were negative. Apply our y. And a positive 4 and a positive 30, those are the same. So find the sum of 34. Remembering it's a positive 34, so we have to put that positive sign, which now looks like a plus sign. So final answer is negative 17y plus 34. Oops. All right, so I'm going to pull one out here. I want you guys to try it. It's going to be one similar to what I just did. So if you want to rewind and rewatch that, you can do that before you go through and do this. But I want you to realize that when you're distributing, don't forget to distribute the negative with the 2. Okay, so go ahead and start this process. That's a negative 4y there. So go ahead and pause your video and work your way through this problem and then check back to make sure you got the correct answer. All right, so negative 2 times negative 4 gives me positive 8 with a y. Negative 2 times negative 3 gives me a positive 6. And then I still had 7y and a positive 5. Okay, so now if I rearrange, I have 7y and a positive 8y. And then I had a positive 5 and a positive 6. Combining my like terms, 7 plus 8 is 15 with my y. Positive 5 and a positive 6 gives me positive 11. So final answer is 15y plus 11. Key thing on this part of the lesson, making sure that when you distribute and your number on the outside has a negative sign, that you take that negative sign to each of the parts of that term that's with, or of those terms that are within the parenthesis. Good luck with this. Take your time. Make sure that you're double checking those symbols and taking them as you're combining like terms.